How to add property to a class dynamically. The goal is to create a mock class which behaves like a DB result set. So for example, if a database query returns, using a dict expression, of column 100, CD, column 200, then I would like to see. At first I thought maybe I could do it this way. But c.ub returns a property object instead. Replacing the citator line with k equals property, lambda x column versus I, is of no use at all. So what is the right way to create an instance property at runtime? P.S. I am aware of an alternative presented in how is the __ get attribute __ method used.
I suppose I should expand this answer, now that I'm older and wiser and know what's going on. Better late than never. You can add a property to a class dynamically. But that's the catch, you have to add it to the class. A property is actually a simple implementation of a thing called a descriptor. It's an object that provides custom handling for a given attribute, on a given class. Kinda like a way to factor a huge if tree out of __ get attribute __. When I ask for foo.b in the example above, Python sees that the b defined on the class implements the descriptor protocol, which just means it's an object with a __ get ___ set ___ or delete __ method. The descriptor claims responsibility for handling that attribute, so Python calls foo.b.__ get foo, and the return value is passed back to you as the value of the attribute. In the case of property, each of these methods just calls the fget, set, or fdel passed to the property constructor. Descriptors are really Python's way of exposing the plumbing of its entire OO implementation. In fact, there's another type of descriptor even more common than property. The humble method is just another kind of descriptor. It's __ get __ tax on the calling instance as the first argument. In effect, it does this. Anyway, I suspect this is why descriptors only work on classes. They're a formalization of the stuff that powers classes in the first place. They're even the exception to the rule. You can obviously assign descriptors to a class, and classes are themselves instances of type. In fact, trying to read foo.bar still calls property .__ get __. It's just idiomatic for descriptors to return themselves when accessed as class attributes. I think it's pretty cool that virtually all of Python's OO system can be expressed in Python. Smiley face. Oh, and I wrote a wordy blog post about descriptors a while back if you're interested.
The goal is to create a mock class which behaves like a DB result set. So what you want is a dictionary where you can spell A, B, as A.B. That's easy.
You don't need to use a property for that. Just override __ citator __ to make them read-only. Toda.
It seems you could solve this problem much more simply with a name tuple, since you know the entire list of fields ahead of time. If you absolutely need to write your own setter, you'll have to do the metaprogramming at the class level. Property doesn't work on instances.
How to add property to a Python class dynamically. Say you have an object that you want to add a property to. Typically, I want to use properties when I need to begin managing access to an attribute in code that has downstream usage, so that I can maintain a consistent API. Now I will typically add them to the source code where the object is defined, but let's assume you don't have that access, where you need to truly dynamically choose your functions programmatically. create a class. Using an example based on the documentation for property, let's create a class of object with a hidden attribute and create an instance of it. In Python, we expect there to be one obvious way of doing things. However, in this case, I'm going to show two ways, with decorator notation and without. First, without decorator notation. This may be more useful for the dynamic assignment of getters, setters, or deleters. Dynamic, aka monkey patching. Let's create some for our class. And now we assign these to the property. Note that we could choose our functions programmatically here, answering the dynamic question. And usage. Decorators. We could do the same as we did above with decorator notation, but in this case, we must name the methods all the same name, and I'd recommend keeping it the same as the attribute, so programmatic assignment is not so trivial as it is using the above method. And assign the property object with its provision setters and deleters to the class. And usage.
If you want to support the channel, please consider liking and subscribing.